You wake up in the morning. Swing your feet off the bed, and the moment your heel touches the floor, a sharp stabbing pain shoots through your foot like stepping on broken glass. The first few steps are agony. Then it loosens up just enough to seem manageable, so you ignore it. But it comes back every single morning. And every time you stand up after sitting, every time you walk on a hard floor, every time you take a step downstairs, that stabbing pain reminds you that something is very wrong. This is plantar fasciitis, and it is far more common and far more correctable than most people realize. Today you will learn exactly what is happening inside your heel, the science behind why one thing placed inside your shoe can eliminate up to 90% of this pain, how to choose the right one, and a complete 7-day recovery protocol. You can start tonight. Plantar fasciitis accounts for roughly 10% of all running-related injuries, and between 11 and 15% of all foot symptoms that require professional medical care. In South Korea alone, the number of patients visiting hospitals for plantar heel pain has doubled over the past 5 years. Globally, people with a BMI over 30 face nearly 6 times the risk of developing plantar fasciitis compared to those at a healthy weight. A statistic that reveals just how much mechanical load on the foot is driving this epidemic. Here is the anatomy behind the pain. The plantar fascia is a thick, fibrous band of tissue running from your heel bone to the base of your toes. It acts like a spring-loaded cable, maintaining your foot arch and absorbing ground impact with every step. Each step you take loads this tissue with roughly 1.3 times your body weight. During running, that load climbs to 2 to 3 times your body weight. When this stress accumulates faster than the tissue can recover, microscopic tears develop, inflammation sets in, and the characteristic sharp morning pain begins. The reason your first steps hurt most has a precise mechanical explanation. While you sleep, your foot naturally points slightly downward, keeping the plantar fascia in a shortened, contracted position for hours. The moment you stand and your full body weight suddenly loads that contracted tissue, those micro tears get wrenched apart all at once. That is the searing first step pain. After a few minutes of walking, the fascia warms and stretches slightly, temporarily masking the injury. The same thing happens every time you sit for a long period and then stand. So why can the right insole inside your shoe resolve 90% of this pain? Because it attacks the root cause directly. The two main mechanical failures driving plantar fasciitis are first, a collapsed arch that forces the plantar fascia to overstretch with every step, and second, inadequate heel cushioning that allows full ground impact, force to travel directly into the damaged tissue. A properly designed arch support insole corrects both problems simultaneously. It cradles the arch so the fascia no longer has to stretch beyond its safe range, and its heel cup concentrates cushioning exactly where the pain originates. The clinical evidence is compelling. Multiple randomized controlled studies show significant pain reduction and functional improvement with arch support insoles used for 6 to 12 weeks. One clinical trial data analysis reported an 89% success rate for pain reduction with appropriate insole use in plantar fascia degeneration cases. Critically, a major clinical study comparing prefabricated off-the-shelf orthotics against expensive custom-made insoles found that the prefabricated option was more likely to produce early symptom improvement in initial plantar fasciitis treatment. This means you do not need to spend hundreds of dollars on custom orthotics to start recovering right now. 3 features must be present in any insole you choose. First, the arch support must physically lift and cradle your foot's inner arch. An insole that lies flat with no arch contour will provide almost no therapeutic benefit. To identify your arch type, wet your foot and step onto paper. If the inner footprint is nearly full, you have flat feet and need a firmer, higher arch support. If the inner footprint is very narrow with little connection, you have high arches and need a cushioned but structured support. Second, a heel cup, a concave well that wraps around your heel bone is essential. This contains the heel fat pad, prevents it from spreading sideways, and maximizes shock absorption at the exact point of injury. Flat insoles and plain gel pads without a heel cup are insufficient for treating plantar fasciitis. Third, the material must maintain its structure. Foam compresses and loses support quickly. An insole combining an EVA midsole with a firm plastic or carbon fiber shell holds its arch support shape through thousands of steps. Memory foam insoles alone are not appropriate for this condition. Here is your 7-day recovery program. On day 1, before your feet touch the floor in the morning, sit up in bed and grab your toes. Gently pull them back toward your shin, stretching the bottom of your foot. Hold for 10 seconds, repeat 10 times. This preloads the plantar fascia. In a stretched position before body weight hits it, dramatically cutting that first step pain. Research consistently shows this one morning routine alone produces meaningful reduction in plantar fasciitis symptoms. On day 2, install your new arch support insole in every pair of shoes you wear, including your indoor slippers. Walking barefoot on hard floors inside your home stresses the plantar fascia just as much as outdoor walking. Do not walk barefoot on tile or hardwood flooring until your pain has fully resolved. On day 3, add the standing calf stretch. Face a wall, step your injured foot back, press your heel flat to the floor, and lean forward until you feel a strong pull in your calf. Hold 30 seconds, 3 sets per day. Because the calf, Achilles tendon, and plantar fascia form one continuous mechanical chain, a tight calf forces the plantar fascia to stretch more with every step. Releasing this chain is one of the most effective interventions available. On day 4, begin eccentric heel lowering. Stand with the balls of both feet on a step edge, rise onto both heels. Then slowly lower on only the injured foot over 3 to 5 seconds. This eccentric loading strengthens the Achilles plantar fascia system in the exact position where stress accumulates. Target 15 repetitions for 3 sets daily. On day 5, begin ice bottle rolling. Freeze a water bottle and roll the arch and heel of your injured foot over it for 5 to 10 minutes after activity. Cold reduces local inflammation and the rolling motion provides a gentle stretching effect simultaneously. On day 6, consider a night splint or stretch sock. These devices hold your foot at a 90-degree angle during sleep, keeping the plantar fascia in a gently stretched position all night. Research shows night splints are particularly effective at reducing the sharp morning first step pain that defines this condition. On day 7, audit your footwear. Even the best insole loses effectiveness inside a worn-out shoe. Running shoes lose more than 40% of their shock absorption after 500 to 800 kilometers of use. If the heel of your shoe leans to one side, or the midsole feels rigid when pressed with your thumb, replace the shoe immediately. More than 90% of plantar fasciitis cases recover fully without surgery. Left untreated, however, most cases persist for 6 to 12 months and risk becoming chronic. If conservative care including insoles, stretching, and footwear correction produces no improvement after 6 months, extracorporeal shockwave therapy is the proven next step, with studies reporting good outcomes in over 90% of treated cases. One important safety note: heel pain is not always plantar fasciitis. A heel bone stress fracture, nerve entrapment, a ruptured Achilles tendon, or gout can all mimic these symptoms. If your pain is severe, accompanied by visible swelling, numbness, or follows a physical trauma, see an orthopedic physician before self-treating. If you have diabetes, reduced foot sensation means inflammation can worsen silently. Regular professional foot checks are essential. If this helped you, subscribe now and share it with anyone you know who limps out of bed every morning. Drop a comment telling me what insole you are currently using, or how long you have been dealing with this pain. Your foot was designed to carry you for a lifetime. Let's make sure it does.